Hello internet, welcome back to the Waifus. I'm Sefhi, and today we're gonna be talking about how Nikke keeps losing revenue, even though it's still on a pretty good place. Why this is happening, some of the reasons as to why Shift Up is making less with Nikke, and then we're gonna be checking also in general revenue for the month of March on the gachas that most likely we're interested or the ones we care enough, because there is a lot of gachas of course in this list that we just don't care, that we just don't even care how much they're making. So we're gonna be talking mostly about Nikke. So before we start, as usual, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to help me grow the channel. Today we're gonna be live playing a new game. For those of you who don't know, Astra, it's releasing today. Astra Knights of Beta on Steam and on also mobile platforms. We're gonna be playing the Steam version, see if we can reroll. The rewards are kind of stingy. I'm expecting a bad gacha system, but the game itself is fun and you can do everything in co-op. So we're gonna be doing that. Come say hello, of course, Nikke, solo leveling and FK journey in between. That's it, right? Let's get started with this list. And let's get started with the big boys as usual. HoYo. HoYo is going nowhere, right? There is no game that will be able to catch up to HoYo in terms of revenue because they have already two that are always the top grossing games, and they are going to be adding CCC. Now, when it comes to Cell Zone Zero, I'm interested to see what they do because I don't think CCC will have as much popularity as the other two games. Maybe I'm wrong, and good for them if I'm wrong, of course, but I just don't see CCC having as big of an impact as the other two games, mostly because competition is getting harder and harder. When we talk about gachas, 2024 is a year that way too many games are being released, good games, a lot of bad games as well, but competition keeps growing. So for HoYo to release CCC, where last beta the biggest complaint was the core gameplay, it's going to be hard for them to release a 0.3%, 0.6% gacha and be like, yep, we're making another 50, 60 million. Now, if the HoYo brand has that power to, even with like a mediocre gameplay loop, being able to make that much money, good for them, which I'm not sure how I will feel about that, but we'll see. That said, Love and Deep Space. Some of you might not know this game. This is a Chinese only game. We tried it on Bilibili already. It's a husbando game, 3D, actually high quality husbando game. And we've talked about this a couple of times. I will mention it every single month probably, but the reason as to why husbando games make so much money is because there are almost no good ones. Literally, there is Love and Deep Space, and before that is all of them are 2D or low quality. So this is the first big husbando game coming out, and it's showing on how much money they made. First month, 52 million. Second month, 35 million. So once again, not for everyone, of course, but the market is there, and this is proving it. Then we go into the Horse Girls, Uma Musume. This is never coming to global. I would love to try this game because this is gambling with the gacha and then gambling also on the races. I think it could be fun. I have not watched the anime. I know Jay watched it and he told me it was pretty good, so I might end up watching it. But do let me know if you guys watch it and if you liked it. I would like to try the game on global because once again it's only on JP and I think it's coming out also on China. After that we have Arknights, 24 million combined. Arknights in China, it's huge. I don't know why it became so big, but the Chinese community really likes 2D games more than the 3D counterparts. And this is also seen on Naruto Mobile. Once again, Naruto Mobile is making more than any game in this list. Most likely the only game that's making more than Naruto Mobile, it's Honkai when they release these big banners, when they have like 100 million. Because Naruto Mobile, it's mostly a web game. You can actually go and play this on your web browser, and you cannot track revenue from those sources. So they're making a lot more than what it's seen in here. This game is awful. It's a pay-to-win fighting 2D combat side scroller. I showed on my last video. If you want me to go in one day and play to showcase the game and make a small worst gacha event or just a small showcase, let me know and we can do that. Now from this list, the only other thing that we care is not gonna be Fate, it's not gonna be Monster Strike, or the other one is of course gonna be Nikke, 14 million. So why is Nikke so down in comparison to previous month when we were making literally 30, 40, as you can see here, right? 50 million when we started, then we got to 30 every single month, pretty stable. 15 when we got a really bad collab or really bad banners, but now it's going down. And again, as you can see that this is keeping like a healthy revenue. There's absolutely no problem with this. So first of all, PC sales are not calculated in here, so we don't know how much or how big of the percentage is coming from that market. And then second, and this is the most important part, but with every update we see this more, and the people that are at the top of the game see this more. Nikke does not care about the core gameplay. Nikke does not care about the end game, about keeping the players playing the game. And that's fine. Nikke is an idol, and Shift Up wants to focus on the idol part and on the characters themselves, the events, the stories, etc. They don't care about endgame. There is no endgame, right? The endgame is doing PvP, XD is doing solo raid, which is a competition between players, nothing solo. And then there's union raid, which you can ask anyone in the top 10 union if they like union raid and the current system. And you'll see the answers for yourself. So we're seeing this more and more where a lot of big whales are starting to spend less or just, drop some characters or not pull out together. And this will reflect on the revenue. This doesn't mean Nikke is dying. This doesn't mean Nikke is going anywhere. It just means the population is establishing itself already and people are seeing the game for what it is. A waifu collector. I would love to play more, you all know this. I've been streaming this game since day one, playing since day one, haven't skipped a day ever. But I'm also taking a toll in the sense that I wanna do more and the current endgame systems are not there. And with so many gachas coming out, it's hard for me to just, try to play more or try to push hard mode, which I still feel is one of the worst things this game has to offer. But again, that's just me. Do let me know how you feel about Nikke right now. But I believe that is the reason why Nikke will stay between this ballpark until, of course, we get a new big pilgrim banner or a really big waifu. So that said, let's move into the honorable mentions of this list, which is games that we know we might care a little bit, which in this case is going to be AFK Journey. In just a couple of days, they made $2.2 million. Again, the game released like a week ago, a week and something. So this is pretty good. We most likely are going to be seeing AFK Journey for a while at the top of the list because in comparison to AFK Arena, it's a big step up in terms of gameplay, in terms of quality of life, in terms of everything you can do with your friends, a lot of things, which is what Nikke is missing. I'm just saying. So most likely we'll see AFK Journey on top for a long ass time. We're playing the game on server 4. If you want to join us, feel free to. Another game that we most likely will see, hopefully, it's Solo Leveling Arise, which is not in the list yet, but it's been pretty big so far. And even if you go to YouTube, you can see that the game is bigger than Nikke for most content creators, which surprised me because I didn't know that the Solo Leveling IP was this big, but I'm happy because I love it, so that's it. So that's completely fine by me. Other things that we want to mention, of course, Mobile Suit Gundam UC Engage. This game is trash, but there is no other gacha for Gundams currently, right? So this is the only one making money. If you like it, you like it, but this looks like a PlayStation 1 game. Snowbreak, you'll know how I feel about Snowbreak. They are improving the game a lot over time, but they lost my interest on release and because I cannot play enough, right? I wanna play. I want to actually grind and have fun with a third-person shooter with waifus, but I can't. Other than that, Ecocalypse losing a lot of content creators, losing a lot of players, losing some money, but still maintaining like a healthy $1 million. Genshin Online 2 Exilium on China making 800k. Reminder that even if we are all excited about this game, it's gonna be hard. I'm not even sure if it's gonna be coming to global. I hope it does because I do wanna play it, but we'll see. The game has a lot of issues. It's super slow pace, one banner per month, which can be good, can be bad depending how you wanna treat the game. The issue is they made a good gameplay loop, XCOM, but you cannot play. And we see this on like a lot of games, bro. We see this on Snowbreak, we see it on Genshin Online 2 Exilium, we will see this also on Duet Night Abyss, we saw it already on the technical test. I don't know what these companies are thinking. It's like, let's make a great gameplay loop, but let's only let people play for like 30 minutes a day. And it's like, bro, what the fuck? That said, let's go into the bottom of the list so we can see, the usual games that are kind of dying. Arkland, not coming to global ever. Tactop Symphony, dead already. Higan Eruthil, I'm surprised it's still alive. Did they announce EOS or not yet? Archery Gear, I'm pretty sure they also announced EOS 87k. And then Machi is making 250k per month. That Machi is another game, just like One Punch Man World here. Both of them making 250 or 270 respectively. They are awful. Like the quality is so low that I don't even understand why people would care enough to play. I love One Punch Man to the point that I will play this game just like Solo Leveling if it was good enough. Solo Leveling is a pay-to-win trust game by that Marvel, but it's good enough that you can enjoy the game, get the characters and have fun with decent combat in comparison to these two games here. So I don't know, I feel like companies set the bar too low for us and they could be making so much more money and better games overall, but up to them, of course, That said, just wanted to talk a little bit about the revenue for this month, how Nikke is doing, my reasons as to why I believe they're dropping down a little bit. That's gonna be it for this one. We're gonna be live later, re-rolling for Astra. Once again, come say hello, have a great time. Thank you to my patrons for making this content possible. You can join them with the links in the description down below. Good luck with your pool dinner dates. Until the next one.
役立たずは楽園から追放するのみ。ブランとノワールのショータイムです。天地万物を切るとはこういうことだ。